If there's one man who's not getting a good night's sleep, it's Mark Zuckerberg. His company Facebook, aka Meta, is in the middle of what you call a fall from the top. With the biggest stock plunge in its history, a dwindling user base, strong competitors, and a frustrated workforce, Facebook is on a one-way trip to the big corpo graveyard. Moreover, Elon Musk criticized Mark Zuckerberg, and as Elon says, there is a very important problem with Mark Zuckerberg that no one is talking about. This is a very interesting story, so let's explain it. Facebook has been in hot water ever since February, as the company's stock prices took a nosedive. On the 2nd of February, Meta, formerly known as Facebook, came clean about a shrinking user base and a huge profit loss, making it the first for the Zuck-owned enterprise. What followed was a $195 billion stock plunge. Now that's something that Zuck can't recover from. This 22 dip is easily the biggest collapse in the market value for a US company in stock market history, aka Zuck's worst nightmare. But why did the company get here? Well, for a number of reasons. If you take a peek under the hood, you'll find that the company is facing a shortage of monthly active user bases, problems with creating a workable metaverse, a combative work environment, and much more. With TikTok becoming the more popular app, Facebook has taken a back seat, which is why it's no surprise that the number of daily or monthly active user bases is at an all-time low. The platform has been a hit with the masses with its short-form videos, and it's clear that Zuck wants in on the action, as Facebook came out with his own copycat, Reels. Still, Facebook reported about a 1 million drop in average daily users in the fourth quarter of 2021, at the start of the year, making it the first decline since the company went public back in 2012. And that's not the worst of it. It's expected that by the end of the year, Facebook's user account will be around 178.3 million, which is 1.4 million lower than last year's numbers. Interestingly, the users lost were all reported to be under the age of 25. And in the fact that Apple's iOS has made targeted advertising a nightmare for the social networking service, and you've got yourself a perfect recipe for a stock plunge. The new iOS guidelines are expected to round up a $10 billion loss in revenue this year for the company. Zuck also has the reinvigorated Federal Trade Commission to worry about. Back in January, the commission won permission to pursue an antitrust lawsuit against the company from a federal judge who apparently found the allegations robust and detailed. On the other hand, the judge rejected the company's attack on FTC Chair Lina Khan. Moving on, as hopeful and as passionate Zuck was about entering the metaverse chapter of the company, it's not exactly going to plan. According to reports from CNN, Meta's AR and VR units, Reality Labs, suffered a more than $10 billion loss in its first ever financial reports, which isn't the best of moments. These kinds of numbers are only going to drive away investors. At least that's what Tom Johnson, the global chief digital officer at media agency Mindshare Worldwide, thinks. Investors will look at these numbers closely as a first indicator of how far off the metaverse is from being a profitable reality. People already had their doubts about Zuck's meta utopia, and this recent stock crash, it's not entirely inspiring a lot of confidence. The metaverse unveiling, one where people were supposedly attending a rave, was less than impressive to say the least. NFT enthusiast CTO Alex Moss uploaded the video to his Twitter and made one thing abundantly clear: someone at Meta needs to go to an actual event, because that was more of a snooze fest as the partygoers stood around uncomfortably still. However, Zuck's not one to give up. Despite the numbers betraying him, the Facebook CEO is trying to calm down both investors and employees. He said, "We've made these types of transitions before, where we took on headwinds in the near term to align with important trends over the long term." However, those words do little to gain trust among the masses that already have their own opinions. The social media service has been dealing with bad press when it comes to the health and self-image. As per whistleblower Francis Hogan's testimony when it came to researchers and lawmakers questioning Facebook about the health and safety of users, the company hardly ever faced up to the truth. Given its history, it almost seems like fate for the company to find itself in these turbulent waters. Facebook has easily set itself as a company to not trust. You've got to be wearing rose-colored glasses to ignore all the red flags. Fortunately, most people out there have their eyes wide and open. When the company came out with its new cryptocurrency dubbed Libra, there wasn't exactly a long line of people lining up, even though the company allowed users to convert their home currencies into Libra anywhere in the world. Meta even came out with a crypto wallet service, Novi, but shut it down in September, in the middle of crypto winter, marking the end of the Libra stablecoin experiment, 3 years after Facebook first unveiled the currency. Unfortunately, Facebook's user base isn't the only one complaining. Employees working behind the scenes have similar grievances. At a company-wide town hall, many employees came forward to detail their experience working at the company. Apparently, there was an insane pressure to be happy all the time. COO Sheryl Sandberg said, "There shouldn't be this pressure to pretend to love something when they don't feel this way." Apparently, the company forces workers to place the company above all else in their lives, and fall in line with their manager's orders. Many went as far as to call it a cult. With that said, cracks have appeared in Facebook's reputation as the dream workplace. One employee also bashed the company for using the stack ranking system to grade its employees. Basically, there's a restricted number of employees who can get a good performance review, and the only way to work your way to that is by being on the manager's good side, otherwise, you're screwed. This is the same system that Microsoft was bashed for. However, the company abandoned it back in 2013. Now where does Musk stand in the middle of all this? As Musk is up to buy his own key to a social media empire, he berated Zuck for having too much social media power. While speaking at a TED conference earlier in April this year, Elon put forward his thoughts on the matter. In his own words, "As for media sort of ownership, I mean, you've got Mark Zuckerberg owning Facebook and Instagram and WhatsApp, and with a share ownership structure that will have Mark Zuckerberg the 14th still controlling those entities." Yes, he compared Zuck to King Louis XIV, aka the Sand King, known for his endless wealth and power. With that said, Musk has never been a fan of Facebook. Back in 2020, the tech giant tweeted #DeleteFacebook. His anti-Facebook feelings are no surprise, considering that he deleted the Facebook pages for both Tesla and SpaceX back in 2018. He said he didn't realize that the pages were on the platform in the first place. When he deleted the one for SpaceX, Musk tweeted, "Looks lame anyway." Musk had no political intentions behind the move, as he abundantly made clear. He just didn't like Facebook. It apparently gave him the relief. Safe to say, he's just another name in the long list of names leaving the platform. Musk was joined by Apple co-founder Steve Wozniak as he deleted his Facebook account in April 2018. He too recommended everyone get off the platform. That's it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe to Capital Investments.